everything. Intelligence, expertise. What other doors could they close? Hey, how much am I willing to give up? Stand commitment and are not committed to the struggle. Acquiescing to the struggle. They're committed. Careful who you leave toeless.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. I hope that you guys have had a good week. You're closing out the week on a strong note. I hope that you are exercising your personal sovereignty and that you are living life at the level of your design. If your week did not go as planned, and this is one of those weeks for me, absolutely nothing went as planned. You can always set the reset button. Things are going to happen in life. If anyone is telling you that you are going to find some type of groove in life, that once you hit a certain mark, you're just going to cruise, that can be true in a mental sense. In other words, that you get so much confidence in who you are that you take everything in stride and you keep moving, but there are going to be challenges. You're not going to circumvent the challenges and difficulties and setbacks and struggles, because what you have to understand is you're living in an imperfect world, dealing with imperfect people. And if you are operating on any true high level, you are working with a lot of moving parts that involve a lot of people and a lot of different responsibilities. And there are going to be sometimes people simply aren't coming through. And people aren't doing, not everybody's going to be on your level. And you've got to know how to handle that. You've got to know how to deal with that. You got to know how to be at some level tolerant of it, not tolerant at the level that it's okay, but tolerant at the level that you understand that people are in process, just like you're in process. So no matter what happened this week, if it went great, awesome, let's keep the momentum going. If it was not a great week, we're going to press the reset button this morning and we're going to push through. We're going to finish the week strong and we're going to start the next week on an immensely powerful note. So on that note, whatever's going on, whatever's going on with you right now, I want you to really set it aside for a moment, because we're going to do something that's going to show you how you can literally set the path of your day, set the course of your day each and every day. I've talked about this before, but I'm going to bring it to you in a different way. If you haven't gotten the latest books, Critical Mass number 20, I am number 21. The links are in the description box. Go ahead, place your order, and we will get those out to you. Also, if you want to work with yours truly, the way to do that's also in the description box. If you want to be a part of the 60-day holistic challenge that we're pushing all the way through the end of the year into 2020, you can start up your Fresh 60 today. Go over to the Master Fitness 21 page and click that like button. And now you'll be getting updates on what we're talking about, what we're doing. We're doing emotional health, spiritual health, psychological and mental health. We're doing physical health. We're doing financial health. We're doing a holistic health challenge. We're getting it ready. There are areas that I am definitely not happy with myself in, while striving to get right here and striving to get right with the businesses and everything. I have really, truly let myself slide in the place that I used to take probably the most pride in, and that's my body. But that's changing. That started changing a couple of weeks ago when I started this challenge, and it's going to push through. And I want you to take that ride with me. I got my son involved. Those don't know, I got a lot of kids, but one of my sons decided to follow my footsteps when it comes to fitness. So he went out, got certified, did all that. So he's going to handle programs. And he's going to do virtual training sessions for those who want them. He's also going to do actual live training sessions and boot camps if you're in the Houston area. So if you're interested in any of that, shoot me an inbox message, shoot me an email. Let me know you're interested. We'll get you set up and connected. I'm going to get him on with me sometime in the coming week to introduce you to him so you'll know who he is and we can get this thing started. But let's talk. Let's talk. Today is Quantum Quantum Physics Friday. We're talking about the world of quantum reality, quantum dynamics, how the world responds to you. We're talking about energy and vibration. We're talking about the physicality of your thoughts. We're talking about the fact that every human emits energy, and that energy is measured by hertz. And the higher the energy, the higher the vibration, the more positive and powerful the person is. And that in fact, we know now some of the emotions that are negative. We know that anger is a negative emotion. We know that jealousy, envy, bitterness, fear, sadness, all of those are low frequency, low vibration emotions, and they fall at 250 hertz or lower, and they wreak havoc on your life. They wreak havoc on your reality, your environment, and your physical health. So we already understand that we want to maintain a frequency of 500 above. So 500 comes in at what we describe as love, the benevolent thought, not just romance and love, but the benevolent thought, the idea of doing better for others, or doing for others, and the experience of having others do for you is the 500 hertz, the thought of being positive towards someone, love. Expressing love by way of thought can create a 500 hertz energy field. Now you move up to gratitude. Gratitude is somewhere around 550, 575, even 600, depending on how much you engage it. Gratitude is absolutely necessary to rise to the highest heights. Now, here's the crazy thing about it. The highest level of energy being produced is when we go into the area of enlightenment by way of imagination, enlightenment by way of engaging new ideas, enlightenment by way of expanding our knowledge of any particular thing, especially when it's something that will empower us and the people that we care about. Okay, so if you're experiencing reality and it's not something that you want, you have to change it. Where does the change start? The change doesn't start with strategy. The change doesn't start with a specific plan, a specific idea. Change starts with the mindset, with the thinking, with a desire to be something different and to think it. As a man thinks, so is he. And it's often said, as a man thinks in his heart. Well, when we study ancient literature, the word heart, especially we go back, and if you're talking specifically, stuff that's biblical, you go back and it says heart, it's the Greek word cardia, K-A-R-D-I-A. And it's actually speaking to the center of the soul. We now know that the center of the soul is actually the subconscious. The subconscious controls 96 to 97% of all of our behaviors, all of our decisions, all of our movements are automatic. As we do something consistently, it becomes a part of who we are. It becomes a part of our center. It becomes a part of our automated process, and the subconscious controls it. This is how you can be in your car driving home from work and get home and not remember the last 20 minutes of your trip home. It's because you were on autopilot. Your subconscious was driving. You may have been listening to the radio, singing back in the back when your first love or whatever you were thinking. You may have been talking and cussing out the person in the next lane. All this is going on while the subconscious is going this. It's seeing the red lights, it's seeing the dangers, it's seeing all the other stuff that's going on. And that is how the subconscious works. The subconscious is working. There's so much going on, and it's all about what you allow into your gates. When I say gates, primarily I'm speaking of the two powerful ones, which are your eyes and your ears, but even taste and smell and touch are gates, but because they have memories and impressions and ideas and beliefs associated with it. When you smell a certain thing, it brings back a certain memory. And so that's powerful. But what you see is going to go into your mindset, not just what you see and you focus on consciously. See, that's where we lose sight. We think because we hear something or we see something and we openly dismiss it as not something that we want or something we care about or something we approve of, that we've overwritten it. Yes, we've established in our mind that we have a position on it. But if it's constantly being bombarded and paraded around you, even when you don't hear it, like your conscious will allow you to zone things out so that you can focus. Your subconscious still hears it. Your subconscious can multitask at a level you can't even believe. It can process 400 billion bits of information per second. Your conscious can only process 2,000. So your conscious needs you to slow down. So your conscious starts blocking out stuff, the noise in the background. When I'm working and people are home, I've got to block out what they're doing upstairs, what they're doing, and all of this. And it's for me to be able to focus. The subconscious still hears it. Subconscious sees it. That's what makes. Excuse me, this is baby, she's made it home. She's made it home. I mean, not home, she's made it to the gym. And she was letting me know. Okay, look, so what happens is when you create a vision board, it's not when you look at the vision board consciously that things happen, well, great things happen. It's the scanning around the room, doing whatever you're doing, and your subconscious is seeing it. Even when you're not seeing it, your subconscious is saying, okay, that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. And I'm big on telling people to speak in the present tense. It's okay if you want to, it's okay to speak in the future tense. I will, I am going to, but when you say I am, that's what this last book is about. When you say I am, that's a declaration. So you should declare a thing, it shall be established. That's a declaration. When you declare something, you have given the universe notice. You have literally sent out energy. Plus, when you declare a thing, the brain and the mind does not have the ability to distinguish between what is being imagined and what is actually real and happening. So when you say I am, the brain says, okay, we are. And the brain will start looking for stimuli, information, opportunities that align with what it believes it is. And so when you start focusing on failure, when you start focusing on your problems, when you start focusing on things that are going wrong, you're telling your brain that you're helpless, that it's frustrating, that these things have control over your life, and your brain will look for the things to justify it, and it will find more problems. But when you say, I'm built for this, I am built for this. It didn't say I'm becoming built. I'm built for this. That even though I don't have the answer yet, I'm built for it. In other words, I posted something this morning that said, if you're reading this post, that means that you have a track record of your track record for surviving bad days is 100%. Think about that. If you're sitting up right now watching this video, that means that your survival rate for bad days, those days where, you were sick, maybe you had a car wreck, could have got killed, maybe you got fired from your job, maybe you lost your marriage, maybe, it's some bad things that can happen in life, and there are some things you look up and say, this was the worst day of my life. But if you're watching this video right now, you survived it. You got a 100% survival rate on bad days. Why is that important? It means that if that didn't destroy you, don't stop now. That's what it means. It means that if you can look back and say, hey, man, that didn't take me out. I'm still breathing. I'm still here. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to square my shoulders. I'm going to poke out my chest, and I'm going to declare that I'm built for this. I may not have the answer yet, but I'm built for this. Do you know how many times that statement got me through things that people thought would destroy me? People thought it would make me fold. People thought it would make me cower. People thought I would go into a state of depression. No. See, I learned how to dance in advance because I focus and I build and I live and I think on gratitude. What does that mean? Every day I'm grateful. The deal, like I said, this week didn't go like it should have went, but I'm grateful. See, I am not sitting up allowing my state of being to be predicated on temporal situations and circumstances. I live on a spiritual level that my spirit is in tune with my destiny, and my spirit is in tune with the mind of God, and the mind of God is never stumped. So I'm in alignment and I have all access to the mind of God, and the mind of God has never come across an undesirable circumstance because it can change the circumstance. It has never come across a disruption or problem because problems can't be solved. It solves all problems. So when I am in tune with the mind of God, I'm not shaken by what's going on around me. And I understand that as I think I am, not I'm become as I think I am. So I would rather declare me being victorious than to identify with the problem. See, I've shared it like this as well. Let's say, because I'm always operating with the spirit in mind. And I'm not talking about mystical religious spirit. I'm talking about spirit as God created us, that the energy force that connects us directly with the source, that spirit, that energy we are emitting through the force we are creating with our thoughts. Our thoughts have physicality. And it is the physicality of our thoughts that move the universe either on our behalf or against us. Keep up with me for a minute. I'm almost done. Check this out. So when I'm in my spirit, that means that there's a spiritual force. That's what the energy I'm talking about, the mind of God, the consciousness of God, the force of God, the universe itself is spiritual. And I am in tune with the spirit, and the spirit is in tune with me, and that the spirit is witnessing or testifying or communicating to me that I am greater than the problem that I'm facing, and that the problem I'm facing cannot overcome me. So then what happens when I'm in a situation that I'm not happy with, when the circumstances are speaking ill of where I'm at and ill of me, ill of my hopes? What is the difference? There's something in my spirit that will disagree with the circumstance. Why? Because my spirit is in tune with the mind of God. And the mind of God has told me I'm built for this. So I'm going to overcome this. This is momentary. This is temporal. It can't last forever. I am going to overcome it. And so what happens? I remain calm. Man, what's going, I've been told I'm in denial. Man, you're in denial. No, there's something in my spirit that disagrees with the circumstances. See, your circumstances become a force in your life. Your negative circumstances become a force in your life when you believe the lies they present. Only then. When you see the circumstances and situations in your life as simply being puzzles that must be solved, and you have the answers at your disposal, you simply get to work solving the problem, solving the solution. But when you see them as something that can't be overcome, you believe the lie that you're defeated. And when you believe the lie that you're defeated, you accept the consequences of defeat and you wallow in the misery, depression, victim mindset. It's important to understand that how you see your circumstances, your perception of what you're facing, not what someone else is saying, not what the past experience may have said, but what you believe about what you're going through, what you sit up and in your mind have said to yourself, I'm not done yet. I'm not defeated. I will win. I am winning. I'm a winner. I have talks with myself where I make declarations about who I am. And who I am comes with a set of attributes and assets. And because I've declared this is who I am, the attributes and assets go to work for me. Even in times of darkness and difficulty, the attributes and assets are at work. So what am I saying? I'm saying that you have a physicality in your thinking that most people aren't aware of. Your thoughts have energy. Your thoughts literally create an energy field around you that people can feel. You ever walk in and you ever walked into a place and have somebody walk into a place you're in, and you're emotionless as far as your face is concerned, and yet they ask you what's wrong? They felt the energy when they walked in. You ever walked into a place and either experienced an immediate sense of darkness and heaviness, or the flip side of it, walked in and all of a sudden you was in kind of a melancholy state, and you walked into a room and you were immediately lifted? It meant somebody in that room was on a very high frequency. And at some point, despite the fact that you were kind of down and not on that frequency, the energy in the room charged you. And see, that's a problem we have too. I want to talk about charging, and then I'm going. The problem is a lot of us are living our lives without anybody in our lives to recharge us. Everybody around us is zapping, taking, zapping. There's nobody that you can plug into to recharge. There's nobody that's going to pour into you positive energy. There's nobody that's going to see you sort of sinking and speak into you the things that you already know about yourself, but you're becoming overwhelmed. You need somebody that's going to tell you you're great. You're going to need somebody to tell you you're gifted. You're going to need somebody to tell you you got this. You're going to need somebody to tell you are exceptional. I love the way you do this. You're going to need somebody to tell you you blessed me today with what you shared with me. You helped me today with what you shared with me. You're going to need somebody to charge you up. And you're going to also need to be aware that you're going to consistently be charging people. That's what I call filling your space. That's what my grandfather taught me a long time ago. Son, always fill your space. When you walk into a room, never leave the room the same way you found it. Leave people inspired, leave people encouraged, leave people uplifted. He told me that I had a responsibility to always leave people more than what I'd walk away with. And that's the goal, to charge people. But if you're constantly charging people, who's charging you? You've got to build a circle where you can sit up and understand and know that I'm going to wake up when I call this person. I got two people, specifically males. You know, obviously I got my wife. That's a given. My wife is wonderful. She's loving. She's kind. She's always telling me why she admires me. She's always speaking of the things that attracted her to me in the first place. She's always speaking in a way that drives me to be a better man for her each and every day than I was the day before. But outside of that, who do I have? I have Michael Jordan, my ace, my dude. I am not very up on keeping a bunch of people around me. Even when I was out there doing the thing and doing the life and all that, I didn't have an entourage of dudes. Now, those who know me knew I did have a lot of people around me, but it wasn't dudes. And that's just how I roll. I didn't have a lot of yes people around me. I don't need you. I need somebody. If you can't tell me when I'm wrong, I don't want you around me. If all you're gonna ever do is tell me, because you're gonna get me crashed. Because one day I ain't gonna be where I need to be, and I'm gonna be thinking something stupid, and you're gonna say, yeah, you ought to do that. I need somebody to go like, dude, are you tripping? You need to sit your behind down. And Mike, man, he's a young guy. He came to me and asked me to be his mentor. We connected. I mentored him, but then we became friends. He still learns from me, but I learned from him. And that guy, I can call him. He's going to charge me. He's going to charge me. I got another guy named Michael Blanchard, Dr. Michael Blanchard, Dr. Michael Blanchard, man, and we have conversations. And that's not a company. We could be talking about anything. We've done work in the community. We've fought about cases. We worked together closely on the case in Fort Worth where the neighbor shot the black guy. We worked closely on that because that was his frat brother. But Dr. Blanchard, man, I don't care what if we're on the phone, that's going to be important time where Doc is gonna tell me, hey Doc, man, you know, I don't know, maybe I hope this isn't the case, but you are leaving a legacy. If nothing else, this world will realize what an asset you are after you go on. I'm hating it. What he's simply saying is your work isn't ineffective or ineffective. That you what you're doing is off the chain, because he knows the inner workings of what I'm doing. And I share with him. But he's always telling me how much I inspire him, some of the things I drop on him. And if I don't think it's anybody that shares my work on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever, that I put out on my websites more than Dr. Michael Blanchard does. He promotes the heck out of the work I do. And he's always got a positive word. Those are the two people I call outside of my wife. I have a lot of clients that are females, and I have some business associates that are females, but I don't confide in females. I respect my marriage. So when I'm looking for energy outside of what Marion provides, that's where I go. And that's it. But you got to have that. You've got to have it. But here's the final thing. You got to understand that the energy that's going to determine how your day goes is being created by you the moment you wake up. Are you declaring that it's a great day? Are you declaring that you're grateful? Gratitude is so powerful. Are you declaring that it's going to be awesome? Are you being grateful for the things you do have instead of worrying and whining and complaining about what you don't have? Are you sitting up and establishing the capacity and the capability of doing some exceptional and extraordinary things? What are you doing in your life each and every morning when you wake up that sets the tone, that primes you and sets the tone for how are you setting your state? How are you setting your state for engaging things throughout the course of the day? Because if you start out negative, remember what I told you, no matter what your faith base is, God, the universe, life, however you want to look at it, God, the universe, life is only going to meet you at the level of your expectations. You get what you expect. You get what you expect. Matter of fact, your speech will reflect it, because in your speech, you're declaring what you expect. And when you declare a thing, it's established and you bring it into fruition. Change your thought processing. Start with gratitude, and be willing to make proclamations and declarations that are not yet ratified in the third dimension. We put so much emphasis and gravity on the things we can see around us that our situations and our circumstances dominate our lives. You are higher than that. You have much more power than that. You got to start speaking things that are not as though they were. Start declaring things, start establishing things, start proclaiming things. On that note, I'm gonna get out for here. Like I said, I would love to work with some of you guys. So reach out to me. Don't forget, you can get the books in there. But whatever you do, make a commitment to being better. Make a commitment to going into 2020 better than you have been in 2019. Don't get to 2020 with these New Year's resolutions. Go in with a mindset. Barnstorm 2020. Going down, just straight up kicking the door in, already on fire, already focused, already looking towards what's possible. Make it the best year of your life. Not get in there and start talking about it and do a whole nother year of procrastinating, a whole nother year of when this happens, I'm going to. When the kids get out of school, when I finally get enough money, when this happens. No, now. Take the step now, become committed now. That's my challenge to you. And on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Remember, my goal every day when I wake up is to live my life on full, so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I'm challenging you to take the same mindset. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.
from a conceptual perspective, two things. People talk about a desire to be successful. All of the elements they think: intelligence, expertise. Hey, how much am I willing to give up and commitment, and are not committed to the struggle, acquiescing to the struggle? They're committed